in the stillness of a late autumn evening, when the air is crisp and the shadows stretch long, a peculiar sense of anxiety often creeps in. The chill seems to whisper secrets, and the rustle of leaves carries an unsettling energy. Picture, if you will, a small suburban neighborhood where the houses stand like silent sentinels, each guarding its own secrets. The streetlights flicker, casting an eerie glow on the pavement, illuminating the swirling fog that slowly snakes its way through the yards. Within this seemingly tranquil setting, a young woman named Sarah walks home, her footsteps echoing softly on the concrete. She's just left a friend's house, where laughter and warmth filled the air. But now, as she approaches her own front door, a heavy feeling settles in her stomach. It's that familiar sensation, the one that always seems to accompany her during these late-night walks. It's as if someone or something is watching her every move, lurking just beyond her line of sight. As she nears her home, Sarah glances over her shoulder. The street behind her is empty, but the sensation of eyes on her back remains. She quickens her pace, her heart racing in sync with her hurried steps. The shadows seem to twist and contort, and the darkness appears thicker, like a veil determined to conceal something sinister. She can't shake the feeling that she's not alone. This unease has followed her for weeks, an uninvited guest that doesn't seem to have any intention of leaving. The following day, Sarah decides to confide in her best friend, Jenna. They sit in a cozy café, the smell of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the sweet aroma of pastries. Sarah's fingers nervously tap against her mug as she recounts her experiences of being followed, the chilling whispers she swears she's heard, and the feeling of being watched even when she's in the safety of her own home. Jenna listens intently, her brow furrowing with concern. "Maybe it's just your imagination," she suggests gently. But deep down, Sarah knows this is more than just a figment of her mind. That night, after returning home, Sarah decides to take a different route. She hopes that by changing her path, she can shake off whatever has been haunting her. As she walks under the glow of the streetlights, she notices something odd. The shadows seem to move with her, elongating and shortening as she passes. Her heart races, but she presses on, determined to reclaim her sense of safety. Suddenly, she hears a faint rustling behind her. It's subtle, but enough to send a jolt of adrenaline through her veins. She turns quickly, but there's nothing there, only the empty street, the stillness of the night, and the oppressive weight of her fear. Despite the absence of a tangible threat, the sensation of being followed intensifies. Her mind races with possibilities. What if someone is indeed there, hidden in the darkness, waiting for the moment she lets her guard down? As days turn into weeks, the feeling of being stalked becomes an inescapable part of Sarah's life. She avoids going out at night, opting instead to stay inside, curtains drawn tight, lights blazing. Yet, even in the safety of her home, she feels the presence looming just beyond her front door. At times, she hears soft knocks, barely audible, but enough to send chills down her spine. Each noise is a reminder that her home is not the sanctuary it once was. One evening, Sarah decides to take matters into her own hands. She researches local legends and stories of hauntings, hoping to find a clue that might help her understand her tormentor. As she searches the internet, she stumbles upon tales of a creature known as the nightmare stalker, a shadowy figure said to follow those who harbor deep fears. The stories vary, but they all share a common thread. This entity feeds on anxiety, growing stronger as its victim's fear intensifies. Intrigued yet terrified, Sarah delves deeper into these accounts. She learns of others who have encountered the nightmare stalker, how their lives were turned upside down by the relentless pursuit of this spectral fiend. Many spoke of feeling watched, of whispering voices in the dark, and of shadows that lurked just out of sight. The more she reads, the more she realizes that she's not alone in her experience. The following week, Sarah decides to confront her fear head-on. Armed with knowledge and a sense of determination, she ventures out into the night with a flashlight, ready to face whatever is following her. As she walks, she can feel the tension in the air, thick and suffocating. The moon hangs low, casting an ethereal glow across the landscape, illuminating her path with a silvery sheen. With each step, she feels a mix of dread and bravery. The familiar rustling returns, echoing behind her like a haunting melody. Instead of fleeing, Sarah turns to face it. "I know you're there," she calls out, her voice steady despite the tremor in her heart. "What do you want from me?" To her surprise, the rustling stops. For a moment, silence reigns, and Sarah feels a flicker of hope. Perhaps confronting it will stop the fear once and for all. But then, a low whisper cuts through the stillness, a chilling sound that seems to wrap around her like a serpent. "Fear me," it hisses. Panic rises within her, but she stands firm. "I won't let you control me," she shouts. The shadows shift, swirling around her as if in response to her defiance. The air grows colder, and the whispers grow louder, filling her mind with doubt and terror. But Sarah remembers the stories. She recalls that the nightmare stalker is empowered by fear, and in that moment, she resolves to fight back. Drawing upon her inner strength, she focuses on the light of her flashlight, its beam cutting through the darkness. "You have no power over me," she declares, her voice echoing into the night. The shadows recoil slightly, as if stung by her words. Encouraged, Sarah takes a step forward, her heart pounding yet resolute. As she walks deeper into the darkness, the whispers begin to fade. With each step, she feels lighter, as if the weight of the unseen presence is lifting. But just as she begins to feel a sense of triumph, the shadows converge around her, and the atmosphere shifts. The air thickens, and a chilling laugh reverberates through the night, sending a wave of dread crashing over her. "Did you truly think you could escape me?" It taunts, the voice echoing with a sinister glee. In that moment, Sarah's resolve wavers, but she recalls her research, the stories of those who had faced the nightmare stalker before her. They had all made the same mistake. They had let fear consume them. "No," she breathes, pushing her fear aside. "I won't be another victim." As she stands there, confronted by the dark entity, Sarah realizes that the real battle lies not in the shadows, but within herself. The nightmare stalker thrives on her fears, and she has the power to diminish them. With newfound clarity, she closes her eyes, envisioning a protective light surrounding her. She imagines the warmth of her home, the laughter of her friends, and the love that fills her life. When she opens her eyes, the shadows seem to flicker, as if uncertain. "You cannot take this from me," she asserts, her voice unwavering. In that instant, the chilling presence begins to recede. The laughter fades, replaced by an eerie silence that envelops her like a blanket. The air warms, and the oppressive darkness that once felt suffocating begins to lift. As the shadows retreat, Sarah feels a sense of relief wash over her. She has faced the nightmare stalker and emerged victorious, not through violence or fear, but through the strength of her spirit. As she walks home, the world around her seems brighter, the colors more vivid. The streetlights glow warmly, and the shadows no longer seem threatening. She realizes that she has not only confronted her fear, but has also reclaimed her life. The nightmare stalker may have followed her home, but it has no power here. In the days that follow, Sarah learns to embrace her courage. She shares her story with others, empowering them to face their own fears. The darkness may always exist, lingering just beyond the light, but it no longer controls her. Instead, she chooses to live with her eyes wide open, ready to confront whatever may come her way. And as she walks through her neighborhood, the familiar sense of unease is replaced with a newfound strength. The shadows may still whisper, and the night may still hold its secrets, but she knows now that she is not alone. Together, they can face the darkness, armed with the light of their courage and the strength of their unity. As Sarah looks up at the stars twinkling above, she feels a sense of peace. The nightmare stalker may be a part of her story, but it is not the end. For in the face of fear, she has discovered the most powerful truth of all, that the light within us is far stronger than any darkness that may dare to follow us home.